gabi po sa ating lahat.
Good evening, everyone. Today is March 24, 2025.
Magandang gabi po ulit sa inyong lahat, sa mga kasama namin. Another Monday ng Usapang Ed. And of course, good evening sa iyo. Good evening sa iyo, Doris.
And good evening, Attorney E.
Dito sa
Usapang
Ed.
Ed. Ayun. So, again, we'd like to greet all of you and we're very happy to see you tonight. Attorney E, siguro let's recap what happened last week.
Yes, last week maganda yung mga naging discussions natin at gusto ko rin yung mga guests natin, Doris. We had this episode with Christian Esguerra, no? Sa yung Facts First. Pinag-usapan natin fake news, critical thinking. Noong una, parang gusto lang natin siyang tanungin ng mga tips na maaring mabigay sa atin because of this program. Pero naging seryoso yung discussions on how we can promote critical thinking, how to counter fake news sa ating mga eskwelahan at yung role ng mga schools dito. Then of course, we had Father Karel,
Yes.
San Juan of the Ateneo
The Davao
University. Ganda rin na usapan doon. No? Topic was usapang private ed. No? So we
Yes.
talked about many issues affecting the private education sector, reasonable regulation. No? Napakaganda ng mga discussion. So I encourage the others also, kung na-miss nyo po yung episode na yun, panoorin po. At ngayong gabi, no, magandang
topic
So,
natin.
magandang
Yes.
topic, no? Tuloy-tuloy dun
Magandang
sa
topic natin ngayong gabi. Kasi last Thursday, we were talking about the private education sector and the issues that are confronting the sector at this time. But other than that, the issues confronting education, education sector, alam natin yan, na maraming pag-uusap tungkol sa education crisis sa Pilipinas. Ngayong gabi, ang pag-uusapan natin ay itong upcoming senatorial elections at kung paano magiging election agenda itong education crisis. At makakasama natin ang dating presidente ng University of San Carlos in Cebu City at ngayon ay chair of the board of the University of San Carlos. Nagpapasalamat tayo na nandito siya with us. Thank you. Zoom from Tagaytay City, we'd like to welcome Father Johnny Miranda, SVD.
Hi, Father Johnny. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening sa inyo lahat.
Bumati ka muna, Father, sa mga libo-libo mong tagahanga.
Ewan ko kung sino sila aking mga tagahanga, pero I'm sure there will be a few. I did not advertise this kasi medyo mabilisan nga. Just a couple of days ago when I was invited, and we'll see how this goes. But for those who've been listening in the past, especially yung mga fans ko, may rin mga fans na ko sa University of San Carlos, CAP, and then well, evidently most of the seminarians who have become priests in the various theologies that I have taught, from Vigan, Seminario Mayor de San Carlos, naligaw din ako dyan sa Ateneo, UST, CICM, Don Bosco. Okay, and I was not able to communicate this to my class, but I'll be discussing it tomorrow because I am
Yes.
actually running a course on values education as school ministry. No?
Father, siguro ang maganda naman dito,
ako ng konti.
ang maganda naman dito, on demand, they can watch this episode, YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Okay, so
Teka, bago yan, baka meron kang gustong batiin muna.
nakita ko dito si Paolo Legaspi. Good evening from POPSCO. I think he's one of the officers of POPSCO. And he's from Region 3. Hello, kamag-anak ko yata. Kamag-anak ko to.
Oh, Region 3.
Yes.
Binabati ko rin yung mga private schools dyan sa Pampanga. Galing ako dyan last week. Last Friday. So, nabati ko kayong lahat dyan. The Private Schools Association ng Pampanga.
I also have an early greeter here. Excited daw siya sa session. Si Mr. Ray Yumang, also from
Ba,
Pampanga.
Pampanga.
Oh, ito naman from Iligan, suki natin si Royce Torres. Bago natin batiin pa lahat-lahat sila, siguro punta na tayo sa ating programa. Mamaya, no, magko-comment sila, Father, and we will be responding to these comments. Sabi nga natin, how can we make education the agenda, no, for this coming
For the election.
elections, not just senatorial, but even
Local.
in Congress and then local government. So, Erap, ano ang gagawin natin kay Father Miranda ngayon?
Father, teka, bago ka namin tanungin, meron kaming ipapapanood sa'yo.
Yes.
Oo, na mga videos. Tapos, bigay ka ng reaction mo, ha? Sige. Tapos yung mga ano rin natin, mga nanonood din sa atin sa live, kung you can also share your comments and reactions dito sa mga videos na to. Okay, let's watch.
Paano po ba natin susolusyonan yun? Kasi lahat po tayo, medyo aware naman tayo sa problema, pero yung solusyon, yun ang mahirap na parte.
I mean,
Meron na ba kayong mga panukalang naisip?
Wala pa kasi hindi pa ako nananalo. Pag nanalo ako, doon ko naisipin lahat yan.
for-
Ang iniisip ko muna,
One
paano
step at
ako
a time.
manalo.
One step at a
Hindi
time.
ako, huwag mo muna akong tanongin ng mga ganon.
Naku, Kuya
For-
Will, may
for
mga iba
example-
magsasabi na dapat ganun yung
for
proseso.
Okay, next na video.
Sir Ipe, bakit po kayo tumakbo? Any words po?
Kasi yung mga tao na nagpapatakbo sa akin mga masang Pilipino. Kahit saan ako pumunta, ng buong Pilipinas, alam mo yon. Iniikot ako, may eleksyon o wala. Nakakarating ako kung saan para makapagbigay din ng tulong sa pagservisyo. Sila nagsasabi sa akin, tumakbo ka, tulungan mo.
Ito na,
Nasa
panghuli.
crisis level yung educational system natin. Yung mga skandalo sa DepEd noon, yung mga laptop, binili ng gobyerno na 50,000 pesos pero mabibili mo sa Tiangge ng 8,000. Pangalawa, ang gusto po ng mga guro natin, magturo sila. Kaya lang, pag may feeding program, kami po yung tagaluto. Kapag may VIP, kami yung tagagawa ng banderitas.
Okay. So, Father
Father.
Miranda, wag na nating banggitin ang pangalan nila. Pero
Quick
ano ang
reactions.
masasabi natin, anong reaction natin dito sa ating mga kumakandidato, no? For Senator?
Nabanggit ko nga na meron akong kurso on values education, no? And I was asking my students to take a look at what is being taught in terms of values education. Lalo na sa basic ed. Saan magsimula tayo sa basic ed? Kasi I think that's the most critical sector that needs to be studied and understood. Okay? And the point I was making was very often, especially for Catholic schools, they tend to substitute religious education for values education. I think we have to make a critical distinction. Kasi yung values education, essentially a secular discussion yan, no? You're asking people to develop critical thinking, to make the appropriate moral decisions, and to look into the, you might say, the reasoning that supports those moral norms. Okay? I haven't seen at the moment sa basic education any kind of critical discussion. Yung bang natawag nating ethics discussion in contrast to the morals. Yung morals kasi yung practice na yun. Yung ethic ay yung analytical, yung the analysis of the norms. Okay? So, that's a problem in itself. Pero sabi ko, if you look at the educational system, nagbago na. No? Nagbabago, especially with K-12. And then I keep emphasizing, parang sa basketball, no? Noon sa amin, naglalaro kami sa seminaryo, yung last touch, yung huling humawak ng bola, siya ang dapat magligpit. Ngayon, sa K-12, karamihan dyan, pag alis ng senior high school, wala nang balikan. Nasa trabaho na yan, nasa negosyo na yan, o kung nasa college naman, ay iba na ang kanilang pinagkakaabalahan. Now, at that particular point, are they equipped with at least the preliminary values to engage with society? No? Okay? Can they engage with local government? Process papers at City Hall? No? Now they're going to vote. Have they been exposed to some kind of discussion of political literacy? no? O puro technical lang halimbawa yung kanilang civics education. Okay? So, importante 'yun kasi the larger question, the larger context is, balikan ko ngayon yung mga clips ninyo, bakit ba may Senado? Bakit ba may gobyerno? Why do you have policymakers in the first place? Okay? Ang sabi nung isa ay pag-isipan muna niya, no? Ay bayaan niyo munang manalo siya pagkatapos sa kanyang pag-iisipan kung ano yung magiging programa. And that is precisely one of the biggest problems that we have in the Philippines. Wala talaga yung political education, no? Well, you should begin with credentials, no? Bakit ninyo ako iboboto? Dahil sa hindi nag-iisip, ang credential niya ay he is popular at madaling tandaan ang kanyang pangalan.
Mm.
Qualification ba yun para gawing policy maker? Can you tell me, can you name me any group, any organization that a serious organization, no? That will choose on the board people who are simply popular but have no clue what the organization and the issues are all about? Do they have any kind of ideology? May filosofiya ba yan? Wala, is very remote. Let us say the third speaker, si Bam, may position, may ideology. What you have to ask is, how consistent is that ideology? Do they have a policy platform? Halimbawa, ma-elect ako. Anong posisyon ko sa West Philippine Sea? Anong posisyon ko sa agricultural productivity, na on food security? Anong posisyon ko sa mga autonomous regions? Anong posisyon ko sa education crisis? No? Sabihin, pag-uusapan pa, saan ka naman nakakita ng mga
Hindi, Father, okay,
Okay.
game, okay, game. So
Okay,
marami ka
sige.
nang sinabi, Father. So gusto na namin magtanong ngayon. Sige.
Sige.
So si Attorney Ian gusto kong tanungin.
Mm-mm.
Ano ba talaga ang eligibility para makatakbo bilang senador? Kasi sabi ni Father, credentials, kailangan may platform, kailangan may position on several issues. Ano ba talaga?
Well, ang qualifications ng pagiging senador ay nasa saligang batas natin yan. No? Kaya lang very simple. No? Katulad ng dapat natural born Filipino siya, dapat siya ay resident ng Philippines for 2 years prior to the date of election, at dapat siya ay 35 years old, no? At least 35 years old, and then able to read and write. No? Walang educational qualifications or attainment.
So lahat
Able
ng
to read
sinabi
and
ni
write.
Father,
Mm.
na dapat may ideology, dapat may platform, dapat may positions on critical issues, hindi requirement.
Di yun requirement. Depende na ngayon sa batayan na gagamitin ng mga boboto. No? So yun, unfortunately, yun ang no? Alam mo yung mga ibang komento ng iba. No? Of course, hindi from a legal perspective, pero yung taong bayan na Father John, sabi nila na pag ikaw ay nag-a-apply ng trabaho, ay napakataas ng qualifications, no? Pero apply ka for public service, hindi, no? So, I think yun ang discrepancy talaga, no? But siguro ang dapat pag-usapan, so specifically on our education sector. Kasi Father, base po sa isang survey, I think SWS ba? Survey, no?
Yes.
Sabi, ang number one issue daw ngayong elections, darating elections, dapat
Isa sa
sagutin ng
number
mga
one issues,
kandidato ay education. So dati, number one lagi ang jobs, health. Ngayon ay education. So, ito yung tanong. Paano ba natin gagawing education agenda para sa ating mga senators para tumugon sila dyan sa challenge na yan?
Yeah, medyo simplistic siguro ang magiging sagot ko. Pero let me go back to an incident, no? Nandun pa ako president ng University of San Carlos. Pumuposisyon ngayon the previous government regime. They were drumming up support um, for trade, no, and industry. So, marami na silang mga programa, naihani na lahat, ilo-launch na lamang yon. Okay? Tapos, ang tanong ko, kasi nag-open forum, ang tanong ko, saan kayo kukuha ng tao? That was my question. Where are you going to get the people to implement and to push your agenda? Who's going to supply the labor force? Who's going to supply the brain power? Who's going to supply the strategists? Pupulutin lang ba yan kung saan? Hindi. You'll have to get them from the capital, the human capital formers, and that is from the educational system. Okay? So, doon pa lamang sabi ko, everybody in whatever the department, kasi parating nililigawan kami, organize mga seminar, mga roadshow, and etc. So, all groups from government, they will come. And my question has always been the same. Sino ang gagawa? Wala naman kayong tao, wala naman kayong hinanda. Okay? The appropriate people at the appropriate levels. So, beginning with the raw manpower, to those who are specialists, and then onward to the strategists and governance people. So, I think whenever any instrumentality of government makes plans, they should ask, where is the manpower? How is the manpower being prepared? In general and in particular. So, if you really want to have, sabi nga nung EDCOM Year 2 report, issue of national survival na yan eh. Ang dami nating alam na dapat na gawin. Pagkatapos, yung tanong ko, pabalik-balik, sino ang gagawa? No? At hindi naman basta na lamang makikita yan. Kailangan hubugin. Kailangan
Dapat.
ihanda. So,
Tama.
you need education. You need people to get the information, the instruction needed. You need the skills training, no? And you need higher thinking, which is more at higher education. So, yun, dapat pag-usapan natin yung mga areas na yon, no? Magkakaiba kasi yun sabihin, basta nagpunta ng eskwelahan. Hindi. Education consists of at least these three critical functions. It's instruction, no? So that everybody gets literate in many areas. We talked about political literacy. Wala nga political literacy. I don't want to be hypercritical, but even the candidates are not even politically literate, no?
Yes. Father,
When-
merong maganda yung sinabi mo tamang-tama, meron ditong tanong or comment no sa isang viewer natin, si Maricel Baroro. Sabi niya, sana maging mapanuri or critical, ganyo nga Father, ang pagpili ng mga leader na namumuno sa ating bansa. Sana maging bahagi ng ating curriculum ang pagsasanay sa mga bata na pumili ayon sa standards. Father, ang tanong, how early should we introduce voter education para sabi nyo matutong ating mga botante?
Well, they should be taught as early as possible. Pero definitely by senior high school, dapat merong education yan, no? Into the system of governance. Because this is the world that they're going to inherit. This is the world that they will occupy and work in. Okay? So, kung di sila marunong, anong gagawin natin? Now, look, from your own reports, again, we were reminded, 9 out of 10 students at grade 10, at age 10, bale, grade 4 na yan, hindi marunong magbasa, no? O kung hindi marunong magbasa, paano mag-iisip? no? Because the education begins with data, but data is simply data, and that's not translate into information, and it does not translate into insight, uh, and so forth. So, kung hindi nga marunong magbasa, how can they even be instructed and informed? Okay? Too late na yan. Pero, pero yung mga rudimentary practices of government, ginagawa na habang mga bata sila. Bata pa lamang yan, kinukuha na tinuturuan na sila. O sige, sino magiging class president? Kahit na sa lower primary, naghahanap kayo ng president. Eh di tanungin, ano ba ang hinahanap ninyo sa leader ng klase? Ano ang kanyang magiging serbisyo? Papaano siya dapat kumilos? At papaano siya dapat makinig? At suriin kung ano ang kailangan ng kanyang constituency. So, I think that political education begins wherever any kind of learning occurs, except that you have to bring it to their level. Siyempre, I'm not going to talk about
Yeah.
the terms and the mechanisms and so on, pero simple lamang. Kung maglalaro kayo, yung team ninyo, sino kukunin ninyong leader? Hindi siyempre, pagka basketball, iba yung magiging leader nila kaysa doon sa may project tayo, no? May project tayo. Sino magiging team leader? Siya, marunong siya mag-isip. Siya, ganito. Sa basketball, ay may marunong mag-shoot. Ibig sabihin, doon pa lamang, pwede niya sabihin, kaya kayo pinipili ng leader dahil meron siyang maiaambag at may tutulong sa inyong grupo. So,
Father,
yes.
Father, ano lang kita, balik ko lang yung isa mong sinabi kanina.
Mm.
Yung paliwanag mo na kung meron kang magandang plano, lagi mong iisipin who will implement, will those people who will implement have the necessary competencies?
Yes.
So, executive yan, Father, hindi naman yan sa Senado.
Yes.
Hindi ba medyo observation din na ang dami-dami naman na talagang batas? Ang
Okay.
implementation ang maproblema din.
Okay, so simple lang sabihin mo, kasi yung gobyerno hindi na napagsisino, hindi na pa nag-iiba nadi-distinguish yung mga functions, no? Okay. Sabihin mo, kailangan ipaliwanag kung ano ang papel ng Kongreso. Ano ba ang trabaho ng Kongreso? Mag-isip, gumawa ng
Batas.
batas, tingnan ko ano yung mga problema, at pagkatapos maghanap kung ano ang magiging magandang patakaran, pag-usapan at gawing batas yun. Okay? Yung executive, yung tagapagpaganap. Okay? So, kung ang ilalagay mo doon sa Kongreso ay yung mga pabida-bida ng kung ano mga ginagawa, no, mali yung posisyon niya eh. Ang posisyon niya dapat nag-iisip, nakukonsulta, naghahanap ng mga solusyon, hindi tagapagpaganap ng solusyon. No, mali. Kaya doon pa lamang sabihin niyo, yung mga pinalabas niyo yang mga Congress kandidato. Kasi nung unang binigay niyo sa akin yung question.
Wala pa daw siya. Okay.
Ano ang tanong ko ano ba ang track record? Palawakin natin. Tingnan natin yung track record sa education noong mga nakaupo at matagal nang nakaupo. Santa Maria, halos himatayin ako nung sinabi nung isang bang senador na, ano? Bakit? Pinondohan na naman yung research na yan. Research. Anong ginagawa niyo sa research? But this is supposed to be a veteran, no, senator. Hindi niya naiintindihan that science does not proceed except through research. No? Anong gusto niya? Kapaan na lamang ito? Tansyahan?
Parang ang
So,
tendency is kung ano yung popular at hindi na base sa research at sa data. So,
no.
bumabalik pa rin kung ano
Kailangan ng
yung sikat. Oo, di ba, Father?
Oh.
Fortunately.
So they don't even understand their function and they don't even understand the connection to education. Kaya sabi ko, nung nakita ko nga yung proposal ninyo, ang dapat na i-educate na una ay yung senador mismo, no? Kung ano dapat niyang gawin. No, seriously, because if you look at the current Congress, senators, how many of them have looked at the problems of education? How many of them have pronounced anything on education? Mabibilang mo sa iyong daliri. And yet, I kept emphasizing, not only because I'm an educator, but simply from the point of view of logic, or even sa businesses. Their main problem is we don't have workers. No, we don't have the specialists. No, or we have people, but they don't have the competencies. Ang reklamo nila noon pa nagsimula akong presidente sa San Carlos, Santa Maria, sabing gano'n, graduate, magna cum laude pa. Pagkatapos pagdating sa pabrika, tuturuan namin uli. Anong ginawa ng education? No?
Father, may comment dito, si Senon Arago. Ang sabi niya,
Okay.
baka kailangan ayusin ang educational system natin na para sa mga Filipino talaga.
Ibig sabihin,
that is-
focus lang muna sa...
Or context. Ang context mo is the Philippines, our society.
Oh, tama yun. You know, when I was doing my research on bioethics, pagkamakubuhay, so I had to take a look at the health system. According to the data, if we had kept all the health professionals that we had graduated from our own schools lamang, from the beginning up to now, we would have an oversupply of healthcare personnel in the Philippines, bigger than a bigger volume than any country in the world. What was the problem? You will find them all abroad. Okay? You'll find them all abroad. Nagpunta ako sa Pittsburgh lamang. Ang sabihin ko sa inyo, meron silang volume doon, no? Okay? They have a directory of Filipinos, of Filipino healthcare professionals just in Pittsburgh, ang kapal. Okay? So that set me thinking. Sabi ko, what seems to be the problem here? We have a problem with policy. We're actually producing manpower to be exported, not to be used at home. So, when will we ever have any kind of self-sufficiency? Okay? So you can keep training and training, but now everybody's complaining. You don't have enough nurses. So you cannot even open enough beds. You don't have enough pharmacists. You don't have enough engineers, architects, everywhere. Okay? So how do you solve the problem? What seems to be the critical problem here? You have a problem with policy. Yung mga kapatid ko, may dalawang kapatid, ano, nung panahon ni Marcos, nag-rural sila eh. No? Mandatory yung service. Tapos nawala na naman yun. So, the politics, and that is where you're talking about the policymakers here. First of all, the policies are not in place. And even if the policies are there, then you engage in the political games and that nadidiscourage uli doon sa party na yun. So, should education be for the Filipinos? It's being done by the Filipinos. It's supposed to be done for the Filipinos, except na yung policy, yun. But take a look, for example, sa researches na paulit-ulit sinasabi, sa higher education, ibang problema ito. They have the capacity to do research. Whose problems are they solving? The problems they are
Sa atin.
solving are not ours. Okay? Yung mga problema halimbawa na identified ng NEDA, sino nagsosolve nun? Wala. Okay? So, when
Pero,
you say
Father,
it
paano
should
yung
be
ano?
for the Filipinos, the question is, oo nga, pero magsimula ka, sino bang Pilipino pinag-uusapan natin? Okay, if you take it from a population point of view, the majority of our people are still farmers. No? Ay yung pinabayaan. Tapos ngayon, magrereklamo kayo na walang makain. Wala nagtatanim. Bakit yung walang nagtanim? Eh, kasi hindi niyo inalagaan yung magsasaka. Hindi niyo tiningnan kung ano ang mga problema nila at hindi niyo binigyan ng mga solusyon. At kung binigyan niyo ng mga solusyon, mali. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng ginawang mga batas ng Kongreso ay bulok. So,
Father, paano ngayon karamihan marami ring push ng mga like internationalization. Parang usong-uso ngayon yan like sa higher education, no? So paano natin babalansin? And what's your comment there pala? Quick comment lang on internationalization of our education system, particularly on higher education.
well, that is a tool. No, that's a tool and it's appropriate at the level of higher education. Uh, pero sa baba, hindi. Ang basic education, kaya nga mother tongue, no? MTBMLE. Okay? So, ibang laro doon sa basic education. Iba ang laro sa secondary, iba ang laro sa higher ed, at iba ang laro sa post-ed, sa post-grad. Okay? So sa post-grad, dapat, no, ang yung ating mga faculty halimbawa, kung talagang may pagmamalaki nila yung karunungan nila, dapat handa silang sumabak doon sa kanilang mga peers from abroad. Pero you can only have competitive advantage there if kung babad ka doon sa research mo at doon ka at you can only have the competitive advantage if you work on problems that other people, other nations are not even concerned about. And by definition, those are the problems of the country.
Pero siguro, Father, balik muna tayo dun sa,
Oh.
syempre, bago tayo problema talaga, well, research, yes, is a problem and we're not responding to issues which are really relevant to the Filipino people.
Mm.
Pero, Father, sabi mo, polisiya ang problema, no? Polisiya.
Yes.
Pero sa akin, hindi kaya tao? Meaning, babalik ako dun sa unang-una mo pa on values education versus religious education. Parang hindi yata natin nade-develop sa ating sa mga Filipinos yung pagmamahal sa bayan, pagtingin sa kabutihan ng para sa lahat. Kasi the policy should be that way, right? A
Yes.
policy that should serve the interests of all or the common good and not just personal.
Okay, from the academic side, ang sagot dyan is what is the philosophy of education of government right now or even of the past, no? Because it starts from there, no? Kaya yung implementation nagkakaroon lang ng kabuluhan at direksyon kung ito ay ginagabayan ng isang filosofiya, a vision, no? A program. And right now, that is a problem because if I ask anybody, even in academia or ask government, ano ba ang vision ng gobyerno para sa Pilipinas at ano ang papel ng education doon? Okay? So we have, pero very recent. Ano 'yon? Ambisyon natin 2040. Okay? Tingnan mo. Kung suriin mo 'yon, no? For the first time in a long, long time, we were able to develop this. And I'm happy that there is at least one. Pero at this particular point, superseded na eh, paso na, outdated na, kailangan i-revise na. Okay? Now, there's another group that's yung mga scientists man, NEDA, no? Yung long-term development nila ganyan.
In development.
2050, Philippine Development Plan, 2050. Ganon dapat kalayo ang tingin nung gobyerno, no? Pagkatapos yung implementation, then you fragment it or you divide it into immediate, midterm, long-term, etc. But in every case, at every phase, you will need education. Kasi yung mga natutunan mo ngayon ay hindi na angkop para bukas. You just take a look at IT, no? Information technology. Tingnan niyo lang yung mga cellphone, pabago-bago. But there are certain things which are perennial. When they say they're not dependent on technological development. These are more on the social dynamics, the humanities, the philosophy, etc. Okay? So, kailangan ng vision. But that's why I'm saying, you need to prepare manpower of different types and of different calibers, no? And that can only be done through education and appropriate education. Napalayo yata tayo. What was your original question? Sige.
Mm. Father, balik lang ako dun sa lumalalim yung discussions natin. Pero balik lang ako ulit dun sa qualifications ng ating mga senador. So I'll ask you, ano ba pa sa palagay ninyo ang qualities ng isang good senator? But before you answer that, magbasa lang muna tayo ng mga comments on this, no? From our viewers. Meron dito sabi ni Tanoj Manalo, nakakalungkot lang po na hindi track record ang tinitingnan ng karamihan sa mga botante ngayon. Hindi mahalaga sa kanila kung ano ang qualifications ng iboboto. Tapos sabi naman ni Ray Yumang, sa akin yata naka-address. Sabi niya, Attorney Erap, your take on this. Ang sabi niya, because we want access to elected positions, very democratic and not discriminatory in any way, napakababa ng standards or qualifications, can read or write lang. Ni wala mang educational qualifications or job experiences or even police and NBI clearance or CI. Kung nag-falsify ng school records, the result kahit sino nakakatakbo. Before your opinion, your thoughts, Father, kay Ray, kasi ito po yung ito yung nakatakda sa ating saligang batas. I think ang intensyon naman ng ating framers ng ating saligang batas para palawakin yung choices, no? Pero I think ngayon nakikita natin the unintended consequence. Parang nafo-focus doon na abuse yung na yon because there is no qualifications. Pero pag binasa mo yung journal ng ating saligang batas, yung mga notes ng mga sumulat, hindi naman yan ang intention eh. Pero so sa ngayon, unless mabago yung ating saligang batas, I think ito na nga, kaya tayo nag-uusap ngayon, how do we also educate our voters? No? Kasi kung hindi educated yung mga tumatakbo, I think mababaliwala. Tataas talaga ang standards niyan kahit di natin baguhin ng saligang batas kung educated yung ating voters, yung electorate. So, Father, ang tanong, ano ang para sa inyo? Ano bang qualities of a good senator? Napakahirap naman ng qualities. Masyado wala na makatakbo, Father.
Hindi. Bakit hindi?
Oh,
We had the good senators in the past.
Or, yes.
I
yes.
agree.
Before. Everybody says that. Look at the history books or look at the commentators. Look at our neighbors. Even our neighbors now acknowledge that they learned from us at a certain period. Ano nangyari? We deteriorated. So something happened there. That's you need to do an analysis of that. Back to the question that you were saying, bakit very minimal yung mga requirements? Well, it was a simpler society. But there was also the uncritical assumption, very liberalist yun na yun, na anybody can be anything. Okay? Kahit na sino pwede maging presidente. Now, from our experience, the world has become much more sophisticated, and you will need more competencies. And the more serious, the more important, critical the task, you will need higher competencies. And therefore, if we are serious about good governance, then we should, Congress will have to take a look at that, no? But they're not looking at fundamental questions. Kasi, and that is part of the critical education. They focus on the superficial and peripheral questions na doon, madaling bulahin yung mga tao, madaling lansihin yung mga yan eh. No? Okay? So, kung tanungin mo, ano ba ang patakaran mo? Very, very, very simply, when you go voting, nagkukwentuhan lang kayo, bakit mo magaling? Bakit niyo pipili ng magalingan? And wala makapagsabi kung bakit magaling.
Wala makapagsabi
Oo.
kung bakit magaling. So,
Father, naalala ko yung isang kwentuhan natin dati and ito, lagi tumatak talaga siya sa akin. Na parang meron talagang may difference ang pagiging mabait at pagiging mabuti.
Yes.
Tama ba yung pag-take ko doon? Kasi ang thinking yata ng marami, iboboto nila ang isang kandidato kasi mabait siya. At bakit siya mabait? Kasi ang dami binibigay. Pag may kakasal, pag may binyag, pag may libing, siya lahat ang pupuntahan. Kaya mabait siya. Pero ang usaping polisiya, ang kailangan natin, good governance, transparency and accountability, and making sure that it's not just our own personal interest, but that of the nation and the Filipino people. Yun ang mabuti. Tama ba?
Yes. But that came after, it looks like a very simple insight, but it's very profound, no? And it has practical implications. I was trying to explain this to a class just recently. I said, if you look at the way Filipinos behave, at the interpersonal level, no, and this has even philosophical grounding, yung I and thou, no, yung concept ng kapwa, yung trato natin talaga personal. We look at the other person as a mirror of ourselves, our needs, and what contributions we can make. Unfortunately, when we look at larger society, you cannot apply the same dynamics and types of relationships. Sabi ko, one-on-one, dapat personal ka. Pagka hindi ka personal, hindi mo susuplado, hindi mo lang namamansin, no? So walang pakisama, etc. Now, on the other hand, these are precisely the qualities that you need in a public servant. Bakit? Bakit? Walang sinisino. Ang tingin niya pantay-pantay. Hindi dahil mayaman ka, mas marami kang karapatan. No? Hindi dahil mas matanda ka, mas marami kang karapatan. So at the personal level, it's very nice, it's very mabait, it's very heartwarming, you know, and all of that. Pero when you look at when you look at it from the public point of view, no? Hindi tinitingnan kung matanda ka, no? Dapat na tingnan ibang criterion. Porke ba tumanda ka, accomplishment na 'yan? Hindi mo naman accomplishment na 'yan, accomplishment ng mga genes 'yan, eh. That comes from natural lottery, okay? Kung batang maliit pagkatapos hindi naman matanda 'yan, nagkasakit. Wala na, iba na ang trato mo. So, the criteria for relating with people has to be different. But we have not graduated to that level.
Yes,
No?
I agree.
Okay?
Yeah.
We have not graduated to that level, which is why, sabi ko nga, in the context of what was happening now dito kay Digong, no? Kay Digong, there is a lesson there. There's a lesson there, no? Okay, gusto na sasabihin lang, bakit hindi natin litisin dito? Tayo. Kasi ibang laro dyan.
Yes.
No?
Father, ani ko lang konti yan, no? Let's
sige.
discuss. But yeah, maganda yung mga na-i-share mo, no? But let's also accept it na syempre para sa karamihan ng mga Pilipino, pag yung elections is they see candidates as hope, di ba? Because of poverty, that's number one. So, ang nangyayari, yung kumakandidato, bumababa siya dun sa level ng masa para makakuha siya ng boto. No, kasi ang tingin na masa karamihan pag ikaw ay matalino, nag-i-English ka, halimbawa, no? Kayo lang yan, parang na-alienate sila. O kaya, I think, because of also of the qualifications under our Constitution. So parang bumababa yung mga kandidato para sa level, para makuha yung kanilang boto. Kaya lang yun ang naging effect. No? Bumaba din yung standards tuloy ng mga tumatakbo. And now, on the other hand, ngayon parang may mga advocacies naman to elevate that. Meaning, yung masa, yung ang dapat i-elevate natin sila sa level ng education para maintindihan nila yung mga issues na nakakaapekto sa ating bansa. So, how do we also put that balance? Kasi as long as we have poverty as the number one problem, parang may hirapan tayo na itaas yung dahil yung mga kakandidato will always put it to that level. Yung mga kulang sa edukasyon, yung may hirap because they see senatorial candidates as hope to get them out of poverty and misery in life, di ba?
Oo, pero yung yung concept noon ng salvation ay personal, individual. But that doesn't work. How many people can you interact with?
Mm.
No? Okay? So, mismo sa pamilya lamang, sa mga kamag-anak mo, ilan ang nababati mo sa loob ng isang taon? Your range of interaction with individuals is very limited. Now, the role of a public servant is not to limit himself to those personal interactions because he is dealing with a larger group.
Everyone.
Okay? Okay.
Public.
No? So, it's a public. And that is where I think we need to educate our people na they have to define ano ka bang klaseng public. Okay? Uh, we need more social organization. We need more organization of social groups by interest or by need or advocacies, ganyan. The whole concept of party list nga halimbawa, kaya lang binaboy yun eh. The idea is for people of a common interest to come together so that they can speak with one voice, no? And they can refine their needs and so forth and communicate that to government. Okay? So, yung education is only part, no? You need social organization at the same time, but that is a different issue altogether. No, okay, but education would still be critical because even if we belong to different interest groups, we can belong to larger groups. For example, we are yung education sector. The education sector is not even organized as a group. Ang dami-dami nila, no? And they cannot
Organized
even
naman, Father. Over-organized.
Over-organized.
okay. So, okay. Now, yung over-organized na yan is, then they have to take a look at themselves why they organized in the first place. Kasi, baka yung principles of organization nila nung simula, outdated na. Okay? So, one of the problems that I had, for example, and I asked Mark, yung noon, ano ba talaga ang itsura ng private ed? Halimbawa. And as a result of that, he looked into the data. He's a better researcher than I am in that area because he's much more. And so, make a long story short, he was able to identify that there are two groups in private ed. Okay?
Ano yun?
Ando yung sectarian at non-sectarian. At nandoon a further distinction, which I did not anticipate because I was thinking differently, but the data for him showed then you have the for-profit and non-profit. Actually, when I was looking at that to try and understand the private sector, there are for the for-profits and there are the non-profits. Pero sa kanya, yung naunang distinction is sectarian, non-sectarian. At magkaibang behavior ng dalawang grupo.
Pero
No?
Father, pero yung
Recommend-
ano natin, medyo
No, my
mahirap
point
talaga
is,
yung,
the more they organize, the more they're able to define
yeah.
their interests and see how that compares with other groups. And then you have a social conversation. No? You have a social
Yeah.
conversation and a dialogue. And in the process, you can say, okay, what kind of leaders do we want to elect? Who will be able to mediate our conflicting interests for the common good?
Yeah, but Father, they don't think that way, eh. Because even that SWS survey that says 85% of Filipinos will vote for those senators who will talk about equal access to education. Ano yan, double-edged yan. Pwedeng populist na batas, like free tuition for SUCs and LUCs, kasi equal access yan, no? Even if it is not sustainable and it will, in effect, compromise private ed. So, kaya nga kailangan talaga natin nung thinkers, those who will be able to, use data and evidence to think things through, and then public talaga, hindi personal, hindi pansarili, kundi yun na nga common good. Pero ilan ba yung ganyan? Sabi nga ni Royce Torres, no, nag-comment siya, it's so difficult to find candidates, no, that will have those qualities. Maraming Filipinos na may good qualities naman, pero ayaw namang tumakbo. Siguro balikan ko lang, no, yung sinasabi ni Atty. Estrada tungkol sa kailangan nating i-educate ang ating mga kababayan. Pero minsan, ano rin yata yun, baka naman it's such a snooty or elitist perspective na kailangan silang i-educate. Kasi ang realidad sa kanila ay kahit sinong umupo dyan, yun pa rin naman ang buhay nila. So baka meron na rin cynicism sa ilang ating mga kababayan na nagpapalit-palit lang naman kayo dyan sa taas. Pero kami, pareho din.
Kakalungkot.
Alam ko, nakakalungkot yun. Pero you still have to get those people to surface their emotions and their sentiments and try to get them to go beyond the felt needs to the real and urgent needs. No, not to get locked down into the short-term satisfaction, but to look at the long-term goals that are more enduring and sustainable. Now,
Father, paano ba ituro yan? Paano ituturo yan?
well, the social scientists have developed the tools and the principles for that, no? Pero kailangan nga ng social organization, which goes back to the political question, no? You still need to organize because governance is a matter of who is given the authority to create policy and implement policy. And there's no shortcut to educating people. Mahirap. Pero dahil mahirap, that is all the more that's how important all the more the roles of educators are, no? Pero educators not only in the sense of providing information, instruction, but really educators who can form people with a sense of values and also the sense of a critical sense of how to pursue those values. So value education, importante yun. Right now, the problem that we have is ang tutok nila ngayon is on the skills training. This is also needed. That's also urgent. Striking the balance on those and all of those is really the major challenge of education.
Father, sabi mo noon, yung mga senador natin maayos, can be proud of them. Siguro the same about our education system. No? Noon, maayos naman. Ang daming nagsasabi na nasa public school sila kasi maganda. Anong nangyari?
What happened was, when you asked me the question earlier, sabi saan ba nangyari? I think somewhere along there are different types of analysis here, but medyo simplistic yung mga approach yan. At a certain point, we were no longer assessing and evaluating our systems. When was the last time, for example, if you look at DepEd, when was the last time before PISA that the system assessed itself? I remember nung bata pa ako, I was starting to teach. And then nag-screen kami nga ng mga seminarista. Merong NCEE noon no? Pagkatapos, after a while nawala. Bakit? They did not take the results seriously, no? Instead of rising to the standard, they kept lowering the standard to the extent that there was no standard at all, and therefore they just simply quietly let it go. No? I think that was the time. And in other words, we had the government had given up on quality control, and that is fatal, especially in education.
So what do we do now, Father? Anong do you think we need legislation to create a body to assess the system, not only the students, but
a body that's independent
parang
of
mahirap kasi kung
DepEd.
DepEd din ang mag-a-assess no sa system niya whether it's working or not.
Okay, punta tayo,
Well,
Father, sa possible education bills na sa tingin mo
Mm.
kailangan maipasa.
una, linawin ko ano talaga ang papel ng DepEd. It cannot be an operator and an assessor of its own performance at the same time. That is the definition of conflict of interest, no? Okay, you cannot get any kind of objective assessment out of that. So let's create a different body, no, to assess critically. Nangyari yung with PISA, no, nung nagulat tuloy yung mga kuwan, no? And then do a more critical analysis. Where is the for example, can DepEd institute a kind of a system of accreditation of its own individual units? No? In public school, how do they how can you accredit them to be of standard quality?
Father,
Okay?
ang
For
daming ano.
example,
So,
example lang yun, no?
yeah.
And the other thing that I think was that developed, which I was very appreciative of, ngayon yung NEDA magiging agency na, hindi na authority lamang. Kasi I was saying constantly in the past, in other countries, you have an agency like NEDA that looks at what the country should look like. It's the vision group should look like after a couple of decades, no? And in the process, also signal to education and control education, no? So that the schools provide the appropriate, the schools are screened to provide according to their capacity to provide the appropriate competencies, no? We have some policy planks already in place. Halimbawa, meron na tayong reform sa basic ed. Dati, walang, we don't know what it's supposed to produce at the end of high school. No, generic. You just assume makokolehiyo. Ngayon, at the end of senior high school, at least malinaw, tatlo ang pwede mong nabasan yan. You are employable, you can put up a business, or you can go for higher ed. Okay. Now,
Father, if I may, ang daming issues di ba? Marami rin
Yeah.
kayo nabanggit na ano. So, ano sa palagay ninyo yung pinaka-urgent, pinaka-mahalaga na dapat i-address agad ng mga
For education.
for education ng ating mga senador, na yung mga sunod na batch ng senators natin? Ano yung mga yun? Kung papipiling ka, about 3 lang na yung urgent, pinaka-mahalaga sa ngayon at pinaka-urgent.
ang pinakamalaga, to me, kasi may mga priority areas yung kwan, no, yung EDCOM 2. Pwede kayong mamili
Yan, ang
doon.
dami nun masyado.
Personally, yung sa akin goes beyond that, no? We discussed this, and I think it has to be a systemic and structural change. DepEd cannot continue the way it is, no? You have to imagine an alternative structure for DepEd. It cannot be the operator and the assessor at the same time. Second, it's so big. Is it time to devolve it to local government? And maybe doon mapipilitan yung yung mga local governments to take a look at education as their own concern. If they're an agricultural province, bakit walang eskwelahan ng agriculture dyan? No? At kung meron silang science high school, pwede ba lumaban yan? Doon pumantay, doon sa science high school, doon sa kabila. Pareho ba ang kanilang magiging mga programa o hindi? Okay? So if you bring it, I don't know at what level you bring it, but say, there is already a preliminary structure na devolved na sa region. Can you make governors, for example, take a look at what the province needs in terms of manpower? But you have to begin first with, as a governor, anong gusto mong mangyari sa probinsya mo? Bakit hanggang ngayon, kulelat pa rin yung iba? Bakit yung mga iba bilang bumubulusok, no? Doon nagpupuntahan yung mga tao. Mayroong mga oportunidad. mapipilitan ngayon the political community in the province to take a closer look at that, how to maximize, no, and how to organize. Kaya pag ang mangyari yon, hindi puro develop ka ng subdivision na ganyan, pagkatapos ang pinagtatayuan mo yung palang bukirin. No, saan kayo make them responsible for their own food, make them responsible for their own industry, not make them responsible for their educational system. Devolve in some way. But right now, this is a giant, this is a non-functioning giant, itong DepEd na to, no? Even they themselves acknowledge that it's too big, to manage properly. Meron namang Management Association of the Philippines. Bakit hindi lang magkonsulta doon? Ano yung mga alternative structures and systems? I think that to me, that sums up.
So you cited two big,
okay.
huge initiatives.
Doon, kasi yung mga iba, doon na lang isasampay. No? Yung mga interest, priority areas nyo, isampay nyo na lang doon. Pero hanggat hindi maayos yung sistema, ay ikot-ikot lang tayo. Okay, masyado yung maraming sinabi.
Mahirap yung paikot-ikot, Father, nakakahilo.
O bago tayo siguro mag-wrap up dahil kulang na ating oras, magbasa lang ulit tayo ng mga maganda yung mga comments. Meron dito si Paul Castillo Buklatin. Sabi niya, hindi po kaya part of the problem is may qualified na candidate na kayang i-uplift ang Philippine education system. But karamihan sa voters pinipili kung sino lang ang sikat at familiar.
Ito si Teresa Atendido, maganda rin ang comment. I truly wish Filipinos would prioritize justice over personal interest. Imagine how much progress we could achieve if fairness and integrity guided our decisions. We truly that will be our future.
Ay, parang lulungkot yata ako doon sa topic natin ngayon. Parang maraming kailangang baguhin.
Hindi naman. I think if you want to look at it positively, the reform, we have created certain policies for reform. And I kept saying, nandun na yung iba. Batas na nga yung iba R8 and 533. Meron ng framework. No? Okay, higher education, you have CMO 46. Even for graduate education, you have CMO 50, etc. So, we have some policies already in place. They think they're good, they're workable. Now, can we implement them?
How important, Father, how important is this coming elections for our education system and looking at our education crisis at this point?
Well, sinabi na ng EDCOM, it's a matter of national survival, no? Kasi if we're going to elect the same people who have no ideological consistency, who have no platforms for government, who have no track record whatsoever, etc., and who have no credibility in terms of their hierarchy of values, we're going to go back to the old political games, and we're not going to go forward. But hopefully, we can look beyond Congress. We can look beyond the executive because ultimately, our salvation rests in our own hands. We can still make a difference wherever we are, no? And I think that we need to constantly remember that kahit na maliit na sulok yung sa iyong daigdig, meron kang magagawa dyan. After all, where did reformers come from? No? Where did innovators come from? No, they came from unexpected places. Precisely doon, gamitin natin yung mga interpersonal encounters to make that happen. So we have some
Yes.
good policies in place. We just need now to get
Good people.
forget Congress. No, we need to get executives, no, who can really make change happen. No, ayan, yan ang hanapin niyo, mga governor, mga
Local,
mayor.
Meron
mga
pa kayong
local-
pag-asa? Meron kayang biglang uusbong, Doris, no? From unexpected places before.
Mali mo,
Well,
magka-change of
yung-
heart bigla.
Meron
Lalo na
mga
sa
example
2028
na
elections.
for example, yung example halimbawa na binibigyan nila doon sa Marikina si Biko, no? Okay, Bing Soto. But okay.
Ilan
he
taon na ba si
made-
Vico? Baka daw ano pa, underage pa.
Sige.
But
Hindi,
anyway,
pero
ako.
just one illustration.
Yes.
So here's an illustration that it can happen.
Yes.
And it
Yes,
was
yes.
just a matter of simply, looking at the needs of people and the resources available and opening up government. Okay? Hindi naman siya dumukot ng kung saan pera. Yung pera na rin ng gobyerno ginamit niya para sa scholarship, pinapasok sa ano. Okay? That is where I say, let's say, suppose I were governor of a place and sabihin ko, ilan bang halimbawa, private education and public education, saan ba nagsisiksikan yung mga public education? No? Pagkatapos doon sa kabila, may private education na walang enrollment.
Tama. Sige, so
No?
siguro we've run out of time, no? Even if there's really still much that we'd like to discuss. Time is too short for this kind of a discussion. Sabi nga ng isang kasama natin si Senon Arago, marami pang mga comments dito, Ana Bacan. Education should be aimed not only to impart knowledge but also to shape people into better individuals. Attorney parting words na tayo, takeaways.
Teka,
Mabilis lang.
last na ito pa, may magandang comment si Christine Lay. Sabi niya, we should vote for candidates capable of directly affecting Filipino lives, especially in the field of healthcare and education. Likewise, in the education sector, a good example is papalit-palit daw na curriculum. We need to decide which curriculum works best to produce citizens who are globally competitive. The drastic change in curriculum leaves educators and learners confused. Tama rin sa isang banda. But kulang na naman tayo ng oras. So, ano pa?
Lagi na lang tayong kulang sa
Lagi
oras.
kulang sa oras,
Pero
no?
ganun talaga. Baka kailangan more than 1 hour ito. Okay ba yon, Lottie? More than 1 hour tayo. So, Father, we'd like to thank you
Maraming
for
salamat,
spending
Father.
your Monday evening with us. Thank you to all who were with us, and thank you for all the comments. So, Father, one last sentence. Sentence,
Sentence. Walang commas, walang...
Singular.
Okay. So, I invite the students to read, especially if they're in basic education, to read RA 10533 and hold your educators accountable to what has been mandated and legislated there. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Father Miranda.
Maraming salamat po.
From my end, I completely agree with the two initiatives na Father Miranda cited. This can be legislated, an independent assessment body, and also decentralization. These are really structural changes that we'll have to implement.
Yeah.
No? At saka, of course, balik ka
Voter.
sa executive dyan.
And of course, voter education. At maraming salamat po. Napakaikli talaga ng oras. Teka lang, bago tayo magtapos, promote muna natin. Siyempre, you can watch our Usapang Ed at, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify para mapanood. Sa mga hindi nakapanood ngayon, pwede pa kayong humabol.
Oo. And of course, on Thursday, ang guest naman natin ay si Doc Michelle. Ang topic natin will be on mental health.
Yan.
Isa pang nakakalungkot din siguro na topic, no? But again, at the end
Very interesting din.
At the end
Oo.
of there's always a silver lining in it.
So, we invite everyone, lalo na yung mga parents, mga estudyante, and mga school administrators, and to watch us. So yun, sabi ni Doris, sa Thursday, ang topic natin ay, it's okay not to be okay. Mental health issues. So with that, again, maraming salamat. Kasama ko si Doc D.
At si Attorney E nandito rin, dito
Dito
sa
Usapang
Ed.